Go to KBLA1580.com right now and sign up. Admission is free, but mandatory, and space is limited. Once we reach capacity, we'll have to cut off the online registration, but it's open right now.
Oh, my God.
So don't delay.
Thank you guys for being the best at what you do.
Log on to KBLATalk1580.com right now and register to join us for an afternoon of good music, good people, and good vibes.
Happy anniversary.
Wednesday, June 19th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. We will provide the food and drink, but be sure to bring your low-back chairs, blankets, and your personal picnic baskets.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's celebrate 3 years of being the most trusted, credible, and reliable source of news and information.
We love you, KBLA.
We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're black and stride again.
Black and stride again.
Happy anniversary.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
And so why do people stay becomes that question. Listen, I'm going to start with the biggest one of all, which is trauma bonding, right? That idea that a relationship, that conflating this idea of love and connection and attachment with chaos. Usually in a trauma bonded relationship, the bad stuff is actually really fundamentally unhealthy stuff. And the good stuff is often more superficially good stuff. Like we laughed, we had a good dinner, we had great sex, we went on a good vacation. Like, again, it's superficially good, but the bad stuff is sort of gaslighty, manipulating, exploitative, dehumanizing stuff. That's really sort of unacceptable stuff, but the good stuff keep people in and confuses them. And so when the bad stuff happens, they blame themselves, they feel guilty, they feel maybe even pity, they buy the whole victimhood thing. So then and that cycle persists sometimes for lifetime. And so why?
Eric, are you listening? Because that clip came on right on time, Eric. Hour number 2, the voice of reason, live from KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. We're having an amazing conversation, and we're talking about these faulty love beliefs, false love logics, right? The false beliefs that ruin good relationships. And she talked about all of the things that you talked about, that you described when saying your relationship was good. It was good. We travel together, we do this and that. But then the second half of what she described about how some of those, behaviors that you may have experienced, gaslighting, manipulative, exploitative, she explained that as well. Eric, how much of that second half of what Dr. Romani just described sounds like your situation?
Oh, it's right on point. So I've been a fan of yours for years, read the books, listened to your lectures and seminars. So I've took the opportunity to not just look at my partner and what she was doing to irritate me. I had to look at myself in the relationship as well. So I had to see how I was performing after she told me all these things she wanted to implement in a relationship. So I was trying to keep the peace in the relationship, but I also wanted to have those tough conversations and those deep talks. But I had to realize, based on my attachment style, that she has an avoidant attachment style. She don't want to have those deep talks and conversations. So she will shut down when I want to talk about our issues and try to problem solve. She'll get off the phone. She would just be absent at times. And I just had to realize and accept her for who she is and love her through that, and just accept the relationship for what it is. Like, it's okay. I'm not going to hate you. I'm not going to...
Yo, she probably already has somebody else, dog. Let's just keep it real.
that's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different conversation because we had
let's just keep it. Let's keep it above.
We had an open non-monogamous relationship.
Oh, so definitely, definitely somebody else is on that.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Is it fearful avoidant or dismissive avoidant?
I would say fearful avoidant. To be honest.
Did she ever take the test? And if she took the test, was she honest about taking the test? And did she share the results with you?
Well, she never took the test. I was telling her about her attachment style, which she was in complete denial. And I was like, everything you're doing is moving.
You can't tell her what her attachment style is. She might be anxious, preoccupied, or she may even be secure.
Oh, no, she's not secure at all. Believe me.
I'm just saying, bro, you can't look at somebody and be like, oh, yeah, you did. You can't really do that. It's best to have them take the test, bro. And did you take the test?
I did take the test.
And what was the results?
Mine's secure attachment style.
Okay. All right, secure. Okay. So if you're secure, just like when a parent leaves the baby in The Strange Situation by Mary Ainsworth, American psychotherapist, psychoanalyst, just like in that experiment, when a securely attached child, right, is left in a room with perfect strangers, the child is still amicable and happy and walks up to strangers. There's no fear. That is the sign of a securely attached child. And typically we carry our attachment styles into adulthood, where you see the dismissive, or you see the fearful, or you see the anxious, especially with the anxious. With the anxious child, the caregiver leaves the room. The anxious child will pitch a fit, will go nuts, will go crazy, crying, screaming, whatever, because they don't want to be abandoned. They don't want to be left. The fearful avoidant may cry, but then may show anger towards the primary caregiver when they come back, and still be a little standoffish to the primary caregiver. Like, I'm really upset you left me, and I'm not going to fully trust you because you might leave again. Do you see what I'm saying? So these attachment styles are very powerful, but what you can't do is ascribe that to someone else just by the eye test. They got to take a test, or they got to go to, a therapist and sit down and really go through this rigorous exam to figure that out. But let me just say this.
Gotcha.
I will agree. I will agree on the surface level. And the reason why I say on the surface level, with your side of the story, is because I don't have her side of the story, and she may come and tell me an entirely different thing. Bottom line is, even when you guys break up, or even when a relationship begins to erode and break down, the real thing for healthy people, you want to have conversation. And if you can't have conversation, guess what? You can't force conversation. Do you see? You see what I'm saying? You want, ideally, in a healthy situation where it's run its course, let's sit down and talk about it. We could still be friends. But in an unhealthy situation, it's going to be harder to do that. And let me just say this. One of the coldest things in an unhealthy situation, somebody in that relationship, or both people in that relationship, are still going to feel like they were done wrong. That's an indicator of unhealthy people, right? Being done wrong. They'll say, oh, I'm the victim. This person did this. They didn't do that. Do you see what I'm saying? For you, I would say, consider yourself as someone who's dodged a bullet. Y'all got any kids?
No kids.
How old are y'all?
I'm 36. She's 28.
Booyah. Young, brother. Young. She young. You young. She really young. And, listen, 28? Come on. Come on. She's still changing and growing and evolving as a person. That celibate piece was just for you.
In what way?
In my opinion, that celibate piece was just for you. Celibate with you.
Gotcha. Okay, celibate with me.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Let's be celibate.
That's the confusing part, though, because she would tell me that she still has the urge and passion and desire to
Listen,
be
she was struggling to be with you. You in the house with her. She was struggling to keep it closed up then. Come
That's
on.
That's a fact.
And I'm not saying the sister couldn't be conflicted about it. How long were y'all together?
4 years.
You was with her since she was 24?
I was with her when she was turning 25. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at yourself, leave her out of it.
Okay.
How much better are you now than you were when you met her?
I am in the best position in my life. Like, I'm a better version of myself now than I was 4 years ago.
So did you outgrow her? Because if you a better version, why is she leaving?
She's leaving because she told me that this is not her lifestyle. We live in a one-bedroom luxury apartment, and she said she wants to move to Georgia to start a new life. She want to have a house, grow her own farm. Like, she doesn't want the lifestyle. She said, this is my lifestyle. This is not reflective of her, despite we both chose this place together.
So you was living too small for her.
I thought that we both agreed to have this one-bedroom luxury apartment with a rooftop pool, amenities, with a gym and everything, that we both chose this spot together. But she's like, no, she want to downsize. She wants to just have farm and grow her plants and vegetables in her backyard.
So how does your heart feel, brother, that, your 4-year relationship is going to end on Friday? How does your heart feel about that?
Honestly, though, I feel great because I still love her. I still care about her. And I know I'm going to still be a prominent figure in her life. We're still going to be friends. But also not to take it so personal, like, it's okay. Because it's like it didn't have the desired outcome that I wanted or she wanted in particular. But I still get to keep this person in my life and just learning about conditional love and compassion for somebody despite you didn't like the way they carried things in a relationship. So I feel good.
Well, there you go, brother. I'm happy for you, man. I see it
Thank
as,
you, man. I appreciate that.
Hey, I really see it as an opportunity for you to hit the reset button. And also take some personal inventory just to see, if there were some things that came up in your spirit that you might need to pay attention to for the next go around.
Absolutely.
All
Definitely.
right, Eric, man, I appreciate the call from Annapolis, Maryland. Yo, we all over the country. I love these callers. Let's get it in when we come forward. You already know what it is. We're going to Houston, Texas.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Pardon the interruption. It's me, Tavis Smiley, here to remind you that we are now just days away from our historic Climate Justice Symposium live on C-SPAN this coming Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the California Science Center. We are now pushing capacity. So if you plan to join us, stop procrastinating and get to KBLA1580.com right now and register. Attendance is free, but registration is mandatory. Black folk are flying into LA from all across the country to be in the room when we go live to the world with a stage full of black brilliance on the eve of Juneteenth. And you live here, you better get to KBLA1580.com right now and claim your seat.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
KBLA delegation, listen up. Not feeling yourself lately? Has your weight loss dreams, have they turned into a weight gain nightmare? Have you been chasing those 20 pounds for the last 20 years? Then it's time for D-Herbs. D-Herbs Full Body Cleanse is a natural cleansing regimen that can help you lose 20 pounds in 20 days. The Full Body Cleanse will also boost your immune system and improve your digestion with summer just right around the corner. Stop chasing the 20-pound weight loss and propel yourself into a healthier lifestyle. To reboot your system and lose those 20 pounds, just go to dherbs.com and order your full body cleanse or call 866-434-3727. Mention KBLA 1580 and get 10% off your order. dherbs.com. Experience healing.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Generation, fast-paced nation, world population confront their frustration. The principles of true hip-hop have been forsaken. It's all contractual and about money-making. Pretend to be cats, don't seem to know their limitation. Exact replication and false representation. You want to be a man, then stand your own. To MC requires skills, I demand some shown. I let the frauds keep fronting and roam like a cellular phone far from home, giving crowds what they wantin'. Official hip-hop consumption, the fifth thumping, keeping your party jumping with an original something. Yo, I dedicate this to the one dimension now, no imagination, excuse for perpetration. My man came over and said, Joe, we thought we heard you. Jokes on you, you heard a bite, and that's true, but
Society has now created a situation where women are valuing themselves in the same way they value or evaluate men's value. Education, money, success. So here's what happens now. If in a situation occurs where a woman is not educated, she didn't go to college, maybe she has a low-paying job, and she meets this very successful man, and he actually falls for her. She questions, why me? Why would he choose me? Because to her, I don't have the value that could get this kind of man. But what she doesn't understand is the value he sees in you isn't attached to those things. It's your feminine energy. It's his attractiveness to you. It's how you make him feel. It's all those other things. So many women are now placing their values in the wrong thing that now they don't know how to properly value themselves in a relationship. And so now if you think your success and all this stuff makes you valuable, again, when you get with this guy who has less than you feel superior. And by feeling superior, you feel safer. The mentality is he has to appreciate me. He lucky that I'm in his life, all right? So I don't gotta worry about him like I gotta worry about the guy who has options and has so much going on for himself. So again, subconsciously, they choose the lesser. And that's a problem. And again, it's lack of healing. It's lack of properly evaluating our values as men and women.
Hey, thank you.
It's a lot. He said a lot. Oh, he said a lot. My God. That was Steven Speaks, right? He said a lot. Do you agree with what he said? The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Said a lot. I'm just here to tell y'all, man, it ain't... Nobody is talking about the reason why we really attract folk. Yes, we got the sociological piece down, you know. Women are valuing themselves based off of social accoutrement, things they've, gained, degrees, monies, cars, homes, places to stay, trips, all of that. Okay, fine. That's the social piece. But I think because people don't really understand the depth, breadth, and nuance of the spiritual side, that all of this stuff boils over after you get the person you thought you wanted, right? You just have to live with them a little while, and then that stuff starts to come to the surface. Very interesting stuff. We got callers on the line from all over the country. I want to get everybody in. Let's make this happen. Attila from Houston, Texas. Talk to us. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Well, hello. What's going on,
What up, niece? What's the word?
Yeah, I'm really glad you played that clip. I was looking out for that. Okay, so I agree with him, but I think we can definitely take this a step further. So when you're talking about the spiritual aspect, to me, it doesn't really matter, how do I say this, how you decorate the outer shell or what acting you do. Like, you're still going to attract the same thing that vibrates on your level, right? So we're false people with false beliefs. If I'm fake to myself, why would I expect anything real to come in my vicinity? It really doesn't make any sense. Like, in a sense, it's almost like a delusion, I think, that a lot of us have. And when we're talking about ruining good relationships, that would still be dependent upon the person that's looking at the relationship, right? So some of this is due to our reality tunnels as well, right? Like, I might be in a relationship and view that as something that's dragging me down, kind of what Stefan Speaks was referring to. So I think that's kind of the spiritual piece as well, is based on our perception, how we view a situation and how we view the people involved. But I think as long as you lie to yourself, you can't have a real scenario. It's not going to happen.
But let me ask you this, because I believe this to be somewhat true as well. The same logic that, say, Dr. Jashana Johnson uses to say, I believe that, the love languages come from attachment wounds. Touch, feel, love, and all of that. I also believe a lot of these false relationship beliefs come from the same space, right? I think a lot of, what I'm saying? I think a lot of women who seek power will go the corporate route, will go the transactional route, especially if they're attractive, will go the power route, do all of that, because that gives them a sense of, like, yes, I have power. Maybe they didn't have power when they were younger. Maybe they weren't seen. Maybe they weren't heard. Maybe they weren't acknowledged, appreciated, approved of, right? So the corporate route and using their physicality, because I'm going to tell you right now, men have no wins against a beautiful woman who is physically attractive. Men, and I'm saying in general, I mean, there are some men out there who can resist, but for the most part, that is, this stereotypical idea about men that they can't resist. So you got that going on, and then you have brothers on the opposite side who may not have healed childhood wounds, may not have healed things that need to be dealt with, right, internally, and then they go the money route. And when they go the money route, to them, that is the keys to the castle, so to speak. Anything in this castle is under my rule and authority. Which, that's what I'm saying. That's a false
control.
Yeah, it's a false relationship belief. So, or I'm looking for a woman that reminds me of my mother, or my mother has to approve, or you having a meshed relationship with your mother, or you get what I'm saying? All of that stuff are things that come to the relationship for reconciliation, right? For a spiritual reconciliation, a spiritual reckoning, so to speak. And I think many people struggle to have that spiritual reckoning. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so that actually kind of ties into what I was going to say. When you asked us to share what are some false beliefs that we have, and I think one of the false beliefs that I'm starting to overcome is the idea that things have to be copacetic. Like the previous caller kind of hit on this a little bit when he said I was trying to essentially like kind of make the person comfortable, right? And maybe one of the false beliefs that we tend to have is the idea that we can't grow anything from uncertainty. And I think we can. I think uncertainty is actually a perfect soil to grow something from, but you have to get comfortable with uncertainty within yourself before you can bring someone else in.
Man, one of my false beliefs is just because they say they love you doesn't mean they mean it, because chances are they've never seen it.
They've never been it.
They ain't never seen it. So it's hard for them to mean it. They can't. They've never seen it, never lived in it. I mean, I want to hear from folk tonight. Y'all tell me, what are your false relationship logic beliefs? Like, I want to know. I want to know what y'all think. This is deep. Attila, guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Listen, it's about to get even deeper. Let's keep it pushing. My brother, John, from Mountain View, Hawaii, is on the line. John, what are your thoughts?
Why did you put me on the label of it's gonna get deeper? Boo, don't do that. Boo. There's a false belief right there. Boo.
Go ahead, brother.
Boo. No, I got a question. Is it really cheaper to keep her, or is it better to let her go? Regardless of any point, there's a price that has to be paid.
Well, that depends
on the physical level.
That depends
on the physical level, sure.
But that depends. If your money is if your piece is connected to your money, it's cheaper to keep her. If your piece is connected to your soul, then you got something different.
It's true, but again, on the spiritual side of things, because again, it's going to cost you to keep up with this chaotic human being that creates the atmosphere that brings about your peace.
You know what, John? You stay right there. When we come forward, we going back to Mountain View, Hawaii. John is on to something. I want to hear what else he has to say.
For sport, neither rhyme saying rent, paying life support. I take it very seriously. Within this industry, it's various crews that try to touch me, but I come with the beautiful things, and I bless the track plushly. Around the world, crowds love me from doing tours. Recipient of applause from all of you and yours. Creator of original sounds that's in the stores you take home to absorb and sweat it out your pores. Now who can stop the music running through these veins? Infinitely go against the grain. That's why my motto is to
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. New York City lawmakers are introducing a bill that would limit the use of facial recognition technology at businesses. This technology can identify an individual by facial scans or fingerprints. A second bill was also introduced, which, if passed, would limit this kind of technology in residential buildings. There is some pushback, with opponents saying the first bill limits the way business owners can protect themselves from things like retail theft. A 2018 Massachusetts Institute of Technology and Stanford University study found racial and gender disparities with the technology. Rates of uninsured minorities are reportedly dropping. The Health and Human Services Department says between 2010 and 2022, the uninsured rate among Black Americans went from over 20% to just under 11%. Among Latinos, the rate went from nearly 33% to 18%. The report credits the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, which went into effect in 2018. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward, like banners, flyers, signs, and catalogs, some even same day. And now at Staples, save up to $50 on your print purchase. Offer ends 7/6. Visit staples.com/print for details. Boost your business with Staples, your local print and marketing expert.
When I move my body, I feel like freedom. Happy anniversary, KBLA.
The only black talk radio
And they wondered if a black talk radio station would work in Southern California.
Y'all did it!
Well, KBLA Talk 1580 toasts its 3rd anniversary on Juneteenth, and you're invited to celebrate with us.
Hey, Tavis Riley, y'all the bomb!
All you have to do is go to KBLA1580.com right now and sign up. Admission is free, but mandatory, and space is limited. Once we reach capacity, we'll have to cut off the online registration, but it's open right now.
Oh my God.
So don't delay.
Thank you guys for being the best at what you do.
Log on to KBLATalk1580.com right now and register to join us for an afternoon of good music, good people, and good vibes.
Happy anniversary.
Wednesday, June 19th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. We will provide the food and drink, but be sure to bring your low-back chairs, blankets, and your personal picnic baskets.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's celebrate 3 years of being the most trusted, credible, and reliable source of news and information.
We love you, KBLA.
We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're black and stride again.
Back and stride again.
Happy anniversary.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes,
Why should we be silent?
turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation, we're KBLA Talk 1580.
Have you heard of the 50-30-20 rule? This can help you spend and save your money wisely. So, how does it work? Distribute your dollars into 3 buckets. 50% towards needs, 30% towards your wants, and 20% goes to savings. Use this tool to help your journey to financial success. Sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
Looks like Bobby needs a ride again.
Grab the keys. Let's take our auntie to the swap meet. Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, do it all in a Chevy SUV. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse limited models. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8% must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
I'm going out with the girls this weekend. Nails done, outfit stunner, and my skin, I know it's going to be glowing because I glammed up my shower routine with new Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. It smells so luxurious and deeply moisturizes with its super rich, creamy lather that's bursting with vitamin B3 complex. So my skin glows and my confidence grows. Try new Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash for glowing skin in just 14 days.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit LAFLA.org. LAFLA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
That almighty amazing, ill, highly contagious, kamikaze sound splash like a shot from a gauge until your body sound clash. Hit of the class, magna cum laude beats, bring the beast out me. Flagrant, foul, rowdy, read pipe, and D-type. Disposition, keep them flipping, keep them playing they position, keep making the people listen what I spent. Put them out on the limb, got tears, got blood, got sweat, leaking out of the pen. Your fake not setting the trend, you never listen to them. It's like trying to take a piss in the wind. My home team doing visitors in. You don't test them, they all standing close to the edge, so don't stress them. Now who the type built the lab? It's no question the master, villain in black with no steps in my sound, hitting you hard from every direction, your head and your shoulder area, your midsection.
Those people, once again, are not emotionally intelligent. The way that I know that people are not, I see how people apologize. Mm-hmm. The most vulnerable act that you can do as a human is apologize. Because when you apologize, yes, that's one of the most vulnerable. Yes, because in that apology, whenever you are apologizing, right, this means this goes two ways. You are acknowledging that you have possibly stepped out of your integrity or your morality and offended somebody. That takes a great level of vulnerability. In those apologies, most times there are two emotions and feelings that show up: guilt and shame. Yep. To be able to acknowledge that I feel guilty or I feel ashamed, there's some sort of shame, and I have to sit in this, understand it, so that way as I process it, I can apologize to you and actually admit that I have offended you and give you some type of plan of action to create some type of resolve. Right. People will scream, oh, I have a high EI, I have a high EQ. Do you apologize? Those people.
Wow, heavy stuff. Relationships are exceedingly nuanced. It's hard to have these black and white, concretized beliefs. All women should be like this. All men are like this. Women are responsible for this. Men are. Listen, man. Depending on what you've been through, and what you came through, and what you're still working through, you're gonna have a unique experience with each and every individual you wind up with. And I think it's dangerous to put all of these like faulty ideas out about relationships. You know, the reality is, show up to a relationship ready to see how you show up. What does that mean? Well, it's quite simple. Many of us react and respond to what our partner is doing. We have all eyes on them. We typically don't have an eye on ourselves. And I was glad that Eric from Annapolis, Maryland called in and said, you know, he's been doing the self-work. Again, that's what relationship is for. That is the real work in relationship, self-work. It's not me focusing on my partner. All you can do for your partner as it pertains to their personal work is be a motivational speaker. Come on, babe. You can do it. Stay focused. Don't quit. I got your back. That's really all you can do when it comes to self-work for your partner, is encourage, is support. Be respectful. Try not to demean, their feelings and their thoughts and, their perspective, even if it's wrong. Oftentimes we think it's our job to correct them, right? And if you got somebody who's always trying to correct you, you best believe you got somebody that's trying to criticize you and condemn you and then later on blame you. Somebody's always trying to fix you and correct you and, hey, all you got to do is do this, switch this around, change this up. And the moment you don't do what they say, resentment builds in. And then they got now they got a motive and a reason for why you got to go. It's really that simple. I'm sorry. Many of us can't take constructive criticism from our partner. They're not there to give us constructive criticism. They're there to feed our expectations, which is what we signed up for. I'm sorry. We got callers on the line. Let me get back to John. John, give me your final thought, my friend.
Okay, final thought. Known to stand square throughout my years, but I growl at the living foul. But if the foundation that I'm standing on is shaky ground, how are you supposed to be growling at me what needs to be fixed in you?
Come on.
We're
man.
all a work in progress. We're all a work in progress. And yes, every day, all day, and as we're blessed with your giving, twice on Mondays. But nonetheless.
My brother, man, you know what, man? Let me just say, if I ain't said it today, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Guess what you just did?
Mountain View is in the house, and the blessing is in the giving.
Yes,
Give
sir.
more, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. My brother, thank you for bringing Mountain View in the house. We appreciate the call. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We got Nzinga from Pensacola, Florida. Nzinga.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Go. How are you?
I'm good. Talk to me. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
I want to say that I was lucky enough to experience love once. I know probably most people, like you were saying, they don't know it. You know, they may never experience it. But I was lucky. We had the same birthday. I don't even know how that, and it could be a little tumultuous at times because, you know, two Sagittarius together. So, but I knew that he loved me because he always kept his word to me. And the only time he didn't was when it had something to do with his kids. And I'm a sucker for, you know, a man who does right by his children. So that was, you know, that was nothing. But if he said he was going to be there, if I said I got off at 8, he was there at 7:58 waiting on me. You know, whatever he told me, I could always depend on him. And if, like I said, and if he couldn't do it, you know, he would just straight up tell me. He didn't lie. He was always honest with me. And for me, you know, I don't know about anybody else. I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, that's how I knew that that man loved me. And I was grateful to just experience that one time, you know?
Wow.
So, I want to ask, like, I feel like most people go into relationships with the best of intentions. And, you know, you have that percent of the population who, you know, unfortunately they go from relationship to fill some type of void. You know, they don't ever take a breather, if you will, to kind of reflect. And, you know, everybody has this Bible, you know, or this set of things that they, you know, they don't want to bring the past into a relationship. And sometimes I think that happens by accident. You know, maybe you can't help that. But at some point, I feel like, you know, when you bring these rules and these things that you're going to do in a relationship to make it work and stuff like that, I feel like sometimes, do you feel like sometimes people wind up like Doc Rivers, you know, when he's on his knee with that dry erase clipboard and just writing the plays as they come? Because because somewhere along, you know, they got lost, you know, the promises they made to themselves when going into a relationship, you know, somewhere along the line, they got lost, you know, and it's not a judgment, you know, it's just kind of like I'm a voyeur, if you will. I'm an observer, you know, I like to watch people and, you know, and observe, never in a judgmental space. I've just always been observant like that. So I was just wondering, you know, about the best of intentions when going into a relationship.
Let me just tell you this. Usually the best of intentions is rooted in a lie.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I you know, I got to stop playing with folk. See, we create these fallacies, these fantasies, because we really don't want to face ourselves. Let's just be real. Most of our best intentions are rooted in a lie, right? We don't like being a work in progress, which is why we're always fronting financially, spiritually, right? Psychologically, educationally. We're always fronting something because we really don't like ourselves. So guess what? We will create relationship fallacies because that's part of the telemarketing sales pitch for relationships. I got to pitch you on me being complete. The whole concept of high value man, high value woman is really just predicated on what you've accumulated in this society. But anything else is a lie. You know why?
No.
Do you know how uncomfortable people are? I'm going to ask you, how uncomfortable are you just sitting with the raw, ugly, naked truth of who you are?
I'm getting more comfortable, but it's still a little uncomfortable.
Right. And you've been doing work. Imagine the person ain't did no work.
But can I ask you something? If you are really high value, man or woman, that's something that you don't have to tell anybody. The other person will just know, correct?
But let's go even deeper. To me, a high value person is someone who's conquered different aspects of their own darkness.
Has nothing to do with what you have.
Got nothing to do with what you got. Nothing to do.
Okay.
Right? Everybody is making excuses for being a work in progress. Nobody has just, not nobody. You rarely see people just embrace the fact that they're incomplete. Assembly is still required. Everybody presents. Do you see what I'm saying? Everybody presents as, I'm complete. You've got the done deal right here. That's the hardest thing to do, is be in a relationship with a human being. You can be in a relationship with an idea, right? An idea is easy to be in a relationship. All you got to do is what the idea says. The idea is like a task in school. The task is to write an essay. The essay is to be 4 to 6 pages long. Now, you have to have quotes from secondary sources. It's easy to complete a task, right? In this society as it pertains to accumulation, right? Find a gig, find a hustle, a side hustle, get educated, get a job in the field of your education. Oh, you know what? Become an entrepreneur. It's easy because there's a formula for it. Ain't no formula for healing. So this is why we're here with a bunch of relationship fallacies that are running rampant in our society. You know, I had to become more masculine because I'm a woman, and femininity is not favorably seen in corporate America. That's true. Where it goes bad is I'm going to blame men because they can't deal with my masculine. What, huh? Men didn't show up. There it goes awry. I'm not saying she said that, but I'm saying these are the type of arguments that are branching off, right? And all of this stuff is just bringing more confusion to the table. I'm going to say this to you, Nzinga. Relationships are spiritual. You meet somebody. What are they there to do? Irritate you.
Show you.
That's what it is. Yeah, we going to have fun. We going to eat the flats. Some people argue that the flats are better than the drums. Okay, cool. We gonna eat the flats, and you give me the flats, you eat the drum. We gonna argue, but we gonna have a good time, right? But the reality of it is, you're here to irritate my spirit. And that irritation isn't about, what do I do with this irritation? I'm annoyed. Let me run away from it. It's not about running. It's about sitting with the irritation that rises up from the subconscious and realizing its origins so it can be undone. Stay with me when I come forward. The voice of reason. We're going to keep it cracking.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Have you been a victim or witness to hate or discrimination? Contact the California vs. Hate hotline to report the incident by calling 833-8-NO-HATE or visit cavshate.org. They'll help you access resources and support, including legal, financial, mental health, and mediation services. California vs. Hate is not affiliated with the police, and you can report anonymously. Use your voice. Report hate by calling 833-8-NO-HATE or visit cavshate.org. Res Radio 91.3.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's all the Jim Carrey ass. Mars Co-op. Mars Co-op. What the fuck? To the clones. Bless the domes. Logan Vibes. You know my style. Mars Co-op. All the way. First of all, let's talk about these ill capers and fly act frontin' that now caught vapors. Looking run up on you with guns, snatching papers. Outline body chart is how they would scrape ya from off the pavement. I hate getting locked up cause that upstate bus reminds me of the slave ships. Who's in the Bible never say this. I guess that's why every juvenile is in the same predicament.
We've been listening to the Roots all night. My playlist is my co-host, The Voice of Reason is on fire. We still got callers. Let me get them all in before it's all over. Nzinga, what are your final thoughts on tonight's topic?
I would just say maybe just go in as a blank slate, as a blank canvas, and just allow, maybe with those numbers, like, you know, where you paint by number, and then just allow, you know, the relationship to fill in the colors as it goes, because you know, you're in there to learn about yourself. I can't believe I'm actually even saying that, but it's true. You're in there to learn about yourself. So that's all I have to say. And thank you for taking my call.
We love you, Nzinga. You brought Pensacola, Florida in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Let me go to my city, my town. Dina Love, Pasadena in the building. Dana from Dina, talk to me.
Can you hear me?
Yes. What are your thoughts?
Okay. I think for ourselves, going into relationships after a few failed, or maybe the first one, we need to ask why we want to go in a relationship. What is this relationship supposed to do for us?
Keep going.
Before we jump in, and we need to let go of Disney, of rom-coms, of my mama and daddy was married for 40 years. That time is not now. Here in LA, we practice passive prostitution, so it's a little bit different from us. But I would say ask why you want to go in a relationship. Me, myself, I want to be in a relationship because I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to be transparent. I'm ready to show up every day and work on myself to work with you and let you be my reflection to show me what I need to work on instead of being triggered and acting out on it. Are you still having your relationship roundtable Saturday?
I am the 15th.
Okay, so
yes,
so
Drove
I will be
Stogies.
there. I'm bringing a friend who's coming out of a long-term relationship. I'm bringing somebody that's going into a relationship, and I'm bringing myself who wants to be in a relationship.
I love it. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see you, Dana. I appreciate you for the call. You always bring fire. Straight out of Pasadena, California. Guess what you just did, Dana?
Brought Pasadena in the building.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, the voice of reason back in the building. Y'all know what it is. I got to do it the way I do it, man. I got to do it the way I do it. Let me just say, relationships are hard, but they're not hard for the reasons we think. They're difficult because we kind of want to shift the responsibility onto our partner. Our partner can't be our everything. To me, that's one of those fallacious beliefs. That's one of those fallacies, right? We think our partner is supposed to make us happy or complete us, and that's not true. Our partner can't make us happy in every way. They can contribute to our happiness, but they can't be the source of our happiness. Another thing that your partner can't do, they can't understand you better than you understand you. Do you understand? What do I mean by that? They can't understand you better than you understand you. Many people, will lose sight of themselves in a relationship and allow how their partner sees them or define them to actually help mold who they are. That's not a healthy way to engage in relationship. You're supposed to always stay locked into who you are as you develop, as you grow. This is called self-knowledge. This is called self-awareness. And many people think, man, I can get into this relationship and escape from the responsibility of being aware of myself. When you're aware of yourself, you are now accountable for yourself. You can look at yourself and say, I did this wrong. I can change this. I can heal this, or I can start the healing process. That's a big deal. Listen, we started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. I'll be back in here tomorrow with another slapper. You know how I do. I appreciate everybody for calling. Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I'm out. See you tomorrow.